Chai Lin heard that unpleasantly. You can stay here for the time being. If anything happens, just run outside. Kong Yang said seriously, I feel sure. There's something hiding from us. He took us all the way here. The purpose is very clear. Afraid of this moment, the wolf asked them out loud. What are you missing? Come on, follow me. Lin Chai saw that. He quickly waved his hands and said, Don't worry, we believe in action. Surely he's not what you think he is. Kong Yang was rejected with good intentions and gritted his teeth angrily. I hate to see what you have. New Yik Min's blue-haired subordinates sewed him. I said, let's go. The old man asked the old man. Originally, the original inhabitants of the Guardians of the Gnostic Sun Kier. Probably in here too. He told me he must be here. But it is different now if you can follow me. If there are two hearts, then this trip is afraid of not being too favorable. Suspicious actions of Lang IP make eyelashes aesthetic attention. This is evil thinking. If they betray us first, don't. Blame the family for not loving. In the city of a voice, the Christ of rebirth has appeared. Fat Pink name voicing. Is the announcement true? This man came to collect what the reincarnation God left behind. The man in black continued. I thought my family was just a rumor. Passed down from old. I can't believe it really happened. The old people of the Aboriginal people seriously said, this is also why I called you. The endless stone of rebirth. Controlled by the great families who took turns. Now, if you have to give two hands, I'm afraid people don't care. We're always late. I can't open the temple. There's a lot of good stuff in there. The white-haired man in the black coat heard that and said, look out for the key to opening up that initiative. It's also on that transmitter. The buffalo horn face panicked, asked the messenger, what the hell? It's not stealing. What we've been guarding for so long. The fool agreed. At this time, the elders of the Aboriginal people spoke reassuring. Tell them to be quiet. The pink name is difficult to understand because of the old days. Now the power of people, foreign children, are also not through bad luck. If people want to protect the relics of God. So what's the plan? The old tribe of Aborigines said coldly. Whatever happens to him is always done. Everyone agrees. The elders of the Aboriginal people saw that and spoke up. If so, follow people from outside the world. If there is an abnormality, I'd rather kill 1,000 wrong than miss one. At this point, 5 people secretly entered. 5 people appeared in the sky. I can't help but be angry at this scene. Beauty is worth dying for. SAO. Suddenly, there are so many people. He said it might be aimed at you. Aphids are irritated to gnash their teeth, think it's not long. Our movements have been detected by them. The old man quickly assured him not to be so pessimistic. What's the situation now? Maybe the test. What God has given us should also be. The test is the test. God's grace is also retained. I want to hurt people. She looked at the anger of the enemy. Guess what? These people are really targeting him. He was quick to tell me what to hurry up. If it's a test, surely there is a way to solve it. In front of you, you are still borrowing from God to find the abundance that he left you. One of them will surely have a way of gaining Gnosticism. At this time, the guru in hand, whatever the purpose of the Aboriginal people is. Break the boat or flip in the gutter. I saw that and whispered, even though you are trustworthy, we also have to be inherited. To dig out the CA. You are the true heir to the magic. At this moment, his hand was clasped to his shirt, and he said thank you. He raised his hand to the sky and asked him, they're not coming to get us. Chai Lin heard that blame don't talk nonsense, just looking for something. I still can't believe it, but... Laughing at them, they said, "Coincidence, don't worry. No matter what, I will protect you well." You hear that laugh? I believe in Nin. You must be trustworthy. The spider doesn't understand anything. I also laughed and had fun with my eyes. I was angry and thought this guy. At the entrance to the city, 2 men were lying tired. The 2 men lay motionless. There's a purple light in the gap. The school laughed silently. Watch out for the time the bugs get in here. I still have 6 control over everything. In this ancient tomb, 1 Fan. Now, the 6th generation has really reached the realm of God. That's right, out of the box. The school said to itself, "See, there's no need to keep breaking through. The first one is as I show it. UVI, also according to the consumption of stable heavenly destiny value. It increases if it's really hard to imagine." The old monster, Kier. How many eras have there been? It's just annoying. Watching people flying back and forth in the sky. CA aesthetic school. It's only been in half a day. But the whole thing is already in motion. Maybe it's been discovered. Thinking back to the CA school is not right. The 6-dimensional control here is delayed. There is no purpose. Probably they still don't understand the movements of the aphids. You should still get one to ask how it is. Suddenly, someone jumps up and down. Right in front of the school, CA said, "You inherited what I caught." Definitely into 8 pieces. This scene startled the school. CA school teacher then smiles evil. He put his hand on his shoulder and said, "Hello makes Kier difficult to understand." The evil eye told the Kier not to make a sound. "Or you will die." People just stood silently in place. I said, "He's spinning around in the air." Then that person disappeared. Suddenly, a man with sharp claws appears in a strange place. The man with that claw is free. The fall made the person scream. It was as if something was holding it back. Makes people with claws gasp. The school laughed softly. "Welcome to my world." Suddenly, the person with the claw is trying to chop CA down hard. The man with the claw said in surprise, "This is you with your claw." To ask the old school, CA whirled away. "What kind of god are you?" "I just want to know something." Already said. The person with the claw knelt to the old school. CA said, "Lord, I will tell you what I know. As long as you don't kill me." CA tries to gently touch the head of the person with Kier claws. He then laughed wickedly, saying no more. "I know myself. Let's do a soft move." Makes the clawed man scream. The 5 people of the old clan appeared before his eyes. Finally, CA thought, it turns out that the elders of these people give the order and see. Even the power of worship, you can't put it behind you. Without a doubt, I thought, the 5 ancient clans held by the black sky. Gnostic temple of heaven and earth. The news is rich enough. Know enough to try. Let go of the clawed man. I thought to myself, found the heavenly kingdom Kier. I don't know how long it will take. The guru is held by the black sky. It's still out from this side. Prepare before a meal. I thought it was convenient to try it. In the village of magic, fairies will give birth to magical magic. Student price Y prerequisite. Evening in the city. 3 people in the village were eating and talking to each other. A person who speaks black. "You are the main line of the family. Of the 4 of us. You probably know a little about this. Our 5 great families, they use so much manpower. Even the angel of the scene moves. Maybe it's the Kier foreign monks who came to Sao." The pink buffalo belched a slightly refreshing speech. A bunch of our family's little cricket worms. If you don't comply with the old fairy's appointment that year, back and forth with the outside world, the so-called immortal Kier. What's going on? The black man heard that completely. Can't say that. That angel ever since he was sent out by his family. The serious magnetism of this time, it must have something to do with the fate of the family. The blue-haired man at the window laughed. So what's the matter? We've got to get drunk today. The sky is falling down. You still have billions to support you. Not at all. It was the turn of the black man to fight the first battle. I saw the idiot outside the window laughing. He asked angrily, what you mean? The blue-haired man laughed. He said that you have a family that is old. There's also a billion superhuman billionaires. Normally, there are angels outside. I can tell you that you and I are poor. And then he laughed again. It's the same thing that came out of the egg wrapper. You have to live under the shadow. Billions in the family have no right to speak. It is not pleasant to call someone who understands. Are you still committed to your current state? The black man scratched his face thinking. Then he said seriously, I and my brother have achieved the same goal. Of course, I'm happy too. I don't know if your brother is like this today. What does it mean after all? The man in blue put his hand on the shoulder and said, you and I have been in contact for a long time. Desire in your heart and your heart. Maybe we don't know. You're actually waiting for an opportunity, right? To become a self-righteous prophet who shines brightly. Thousands of admirers. He said he walked away. Something to be serious about now. Are low-level practitioners like us. I should have left earlier. If not, it's considered a chicken by the Kier outsiders. It's not worth it. The people at the table slowly stood up. Come here. We also report from. The door slammed shut. He warned the man. Suddenly, a voice asked the boy. You want to be in existence, standing over billions of people. This word startled the darkness. He stood up and said, who's talking? The voice still asked him. Young man, do you want to be stronger? They want to be existence, standing over billions of people who can't be heard. Panic immediately. What is? Black Min is confused when the words, I want to go to the top of my life. Not echoing. He thought to himself, maybe it's the grace we've been waiting for. It was finally done today. Think about here. He laughed and said, I think. A purple smoke approaching the Black Ming. He's taking raw. He doesn't understand. He said this in surprise. This is a giant door in front of him. A voice is heard. Into the humus we must first separate. The ancient emperor reappeared in the ancient city. CA School tried to speak Black Min. You were born of the Black Eagle. I've never had a hard time. But under the influence of her twin sister. For me, mental training tends to be positive. I have been talking so far in a thought. I understand everything about you. When he heard this, the black man fell to his knees and stammered. The old man is the real God. Black Min said his face was dull. We have to make SAO stronger. He bent over the bridge. Please tell me the last point. CA School found that aesthetic earlier among the creatures caught a little boy. Now look, it's a very deep concept. Release a prey that's already hooked. I said confidently. We are the creator army in outer space. To become a believer, I must say my real name. It will live forever, even if the gods are destroyed for a long time. Does not retain the spirit. I can't help but be surprised to hear this. Your real name will live forever. Your real name will live forever. He immediately bowed his head and said, I vow to be a believer in the supreme existence. Please give me the money. CA School heard that he immediately said to be a convert believer. He ordered the opening of the High Ra. You should welcome the light of the dark. Many thanks to the supreme existence. I will give everything for you. The light goes to the darkness. He sat there for a while as if he had been discovered. He happily shouted at the top. I can't believe it's a law. Can look down on the endowment. Let others practice this technique. I'll be able to own that person's gift. Even to that person's spiritual achievements. We can also use them together. Then his face became evil. See, this is a guy who knows I'm normal. Be especially prepared for me. I watched him laugh and talk happily. Seed aesthetics have been planted down this blackberry. I'm sure you've discovered its strengths and fears. It's very difficult to recover from a sharp increase in consciousness. Black Min happily said, God has achieved. Watch out from now on. Who even dares to call me a loser? CA School tried to see so aesthetic. I can't believe this power. This fascination no AI can resist. And I'm just a dark Ming who's been living in the shadow for a long time. Just need some hope. He laughed excitedly and thought to himself. Scraps excavated. Here, it's as if the Black Falcon has created an airship. Death goes with him. It's much simpler to swallow the 5 great ancient clans. CA School teacher disappeared. Not even the Dark Ming called back his predecessor. The door slammed in front of him. The darkness in the air. Suddenly, he came out in a previous room. I don't even understand why. I wonder about it. Tricks I don't know. This bad devil of old. It is true to create one. He looked at his hand and said softly. Fortunately, the gods still caught some people to try it. If it's actually as counterproductive as we think it is. Let the people go to school. His eyes became evil. Now the people are blessed. We can all use it together. Uniting the 5 races today is only too late. We are the source of everything. Real power. It's like being on some powerful level. The position of chief must be in my hands. Somewhere else, the mountain's peak broke into pieces. A mysterious monster appeared in the sky. To get AI's attention. He landed firmly on the ground. People pay homage to the Long Ming. Master Quan. Long with an evil face. Ask them how angry we are. He laughed and said, follow me. It's true that we caught the arrogant female Gen Z outside. But a woman of superhuman quality. You look great. I heard him say, oh, let's see. Long said to Long. Is this woman Moon Ming? Are the unrivaled emperors of foreign dynasties? Laughing or giving a painted face. I didn't expect such a magical woman this time. The tiger is my sister. You've never made me 7. Long legs are speaking now. But she has a fiancé. Born in the old school, out of the world. He is also a descendant of Tian 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 Tian. In the outside world is the person who has the nature of fairies. I'm afraid it will be a little difficult. Long without fear. Laughing with contempt. A foreign trash can also dare to be called fairies. In front of the Lord. And then he spat out gas. If he dared to stop, I'll tear him apart in front of his fiancée. In a place where a lot of people are gathered. Did the black-haired guy say anything? One of the 10 great Tuan Keat of ancient fairies, 6 long over there. Don't worry, I will punish the owner. Fat guy laughing big. That's crazy. Does he understand what it's called a youth taboo? The black-haired man replied. Minor news transmission, Rapura, CA missing. The owner caught many of Long's followers. Watch out this time. The two of them will have a fight. The fat guy laughed, and he wasn't weak. Maybe there's a play to watch. Yi Liu Lai, speaking CACA. Tell me. Long behind Kier will act with the real school CASAO. The Lord replied at the beginning of the 6th day. I've heard of such a character. To the extent he can force you to use some of your power. That's not easy to talk about. And then the glass of wine goes up and goes on. If you two fight at the right time, you can come and have a look. If you really understand a little bit of your own power, then we won't miss this trip. The moon does not stand on top of the rock. In your hand, you are holding a treasure. She lifted the treasure and said, the elvish fruit contains the elvish breath that has it sure. Maybe we'll get into a bad mood soon. He did not look at the soldiers behind him. You ask, do you know the recent behavior of the CA school? A soldier muttered the word emperor. We haven't looked up the news yet. The recent lack of owners. The moon did not think. I think it should be this time. Maybe he's hiding out to dig a grave. But I'm afraid that the VI has increased. She looked up high and thought. Previous life, maybe you're trying to steal a big deal. That's why we didn't go out with a dragon in the ancient fairies. But this life, facing the long side, find yourself at the door, choose to avoid provocation. Fear is not his personality. Yumin did not grin at the thought. The enemy is arrogant. He wants to take over his fianc. About coming to this country, even though he can think of his successor as me. Can't show up. A flock of green birds is flying towards the waterfall, where my oldest son is practicing. Little lamb speaks bird language, let her hear a song. She laughed unexpectedly. The great evil of the CA school is also today. She poked at Lamb's cheek. Zhao Lam, you said the 8 saints are about to grow up. It's true, he answered with a cry. The first child continued to speak. Actually, I'm pretty sure that CA school will succeed. But heard that Kier has just stepped into the foot of the god. Probably also it's hard to bother him. If you want revenge, it is still a long way off. 3 monkeys are standing under a banana tree, with an unhappy face. She rests her chin sadly. But I should still go see Sao. If the long way back to the school CA really Sao. She's yelling at something that only you understand. First I thought of, the school will be hit by a monster. Pleasure will still go and have a look. Black Ming knelt on the ground and looked at the book laughing. Get dressed for 3 people. It has brought me so many benefits. The gift of my cultivation, it's also enhanced a lot. He raised his magic-filled hands and laughed savagely. This law is too bad. I believe very quickly we will be able to overcome everyone. It becomes an existence above all else. The jade has just opened the door. I just called out to the black guy. She opened the door with a chalk voice. What are you doing? Black Min rush out closed billion. Come on in. To have something important, I need to tell the black jade bewildered. You've been sneaking around lately. To sneak something. Black Ming put his arm around her neck. This time I found a male. I'm going to show you a good thing. Say you have anything good. More about me is comforting. And he didn't show the Book of Ra's at length. She was surprised to ask what this was. Ancient French magic Sao. Suddenly, the black jade rolled his eyes suddenly drill. This is. She was horrified and asked for the mysterious technique. Where did you get it? He grinned. This accidentally got UI rub. Don't think too much. This tool, if it's really useful. You can also pass it on to your father and the elders. He helped the Black Jewel open the Book of Ra. Black Jade immediately praised that Black Ming. You can get this old French. I can't believe my first reaction was to give it to my family. Black Min scratched his head and laughed. Billions know that normally. My grace is also normal. This method is just a waste for me. Pay by family. Let the power of the family increase somewhat. This is how we do the next life. Prince Powder is the force also live better. Not SAO. Black Jade gradually touched the Black himself. She's been laughing at you for years. She turns her feet. But you are assured. I'm going to talk about this with my dad and dad. Your family will take care of you. There is no shortage of Black Min, happily replied, I believe billion. He is glad he has succeeded. Just get through the old French. To the Prime Minister of Billions. Then the whole family will be my price. Black Ming smiled sinister and thought, it's all thanks to that guy on top. The CA school is secretly very pleased. Performance skills and DTO. C. Wood is not completely useless. Waiting for the high level of the black sky. Become old. That's when we incarnate. Think about it when you get the benefits. It's probably better than going around looking for graves. I close my eyes with satisfaction. It's probably interesting, because of my fiang and my fairies. Let's move away from contradictory tactics. It goes by the name of 6. And we're the butt wipers. Let them go. I don't respect this time. Expression and DTO, so won't make it hard for her anymore. Black girl caught her dragon coming. The owner caught someone back. The brown-haired man just arrived and said, just got the news. Long is now in the east. Next to him are 7 deities. Except for that, the rest is the landscape. The school just looked and thought, there's something wrong with Long's brain over here. Come to the door to warm me up. It's probably an open horse. Hubris nature has not yet run. If he wants to die, I will not satisfy him. It's true that we don't understand the logic. Brown man ordered to kneel down 3 people. They were quickly brought to their knees. My feet are screaming, don't touch me. Ka tried to ask. See, this is your ability. She laughed contemptuously at you as the old school CA. You are less willing. Master Long is my twin brother. He will come looking for you. She's laughing more sinister. If we lose a hair, you will find it difficult to escape death, and your fiang too. Suddenly, an invisible punch to the face of the dragon's leg. That startled her. My feet were smashed on the ground. It's a soft attack from the CA mortar. He was dark-faced near the primeval voice, feeling lucky. Because when I fought with Min before, didn't hurt her. Otherwise, you'd be back in the cycle now. The dragon's feet were smashed face to the ground uncontrollably. Insane you. She stood up and shouted, you dare to insult me. I just calmly ordered silence. She's been hit by an invisible force. It puts pressure on people unpleasantly. Long legs in cold sweat. Aesthetic corn comes depending on what he does. The school turned its back. Transmit information raw. Dragon's twin sister is in my hands. I laughed and continued. If you don't want her dead, tell her to come and see me. A bunch of people flying in the sky, in which there is a Phi license allowed voice. Have you heard anything? It's a battle for the missing player in the Long over there. The other guy rarely goes to see it out loud. Then, they quickly flew towards the ongoing battle. A monster's hand gripped the sweet sharp sword. The monster laughed. I thought people outside of you would benefit. How bad is it? The purple-haired guy is fighting a big obnoxious rhino. The scornful rhino, who knows how to fight. The demons on the other side. The long-haired devil laughed. What's wrong with your CA school, fairies? The wind blows across the ears. Don't make the turtle snag. You should still tell him to meekly hand over his fiancée Ra. Then bow your head as a god. The human side is angry. These same sex guys are physically dominant. The first hateful child inserted into the question. The school hasn't come yet. I laughed and asked CA. Do you want to teach them? IP Lan replied in no hurry. Suddenly, there's something that makes the sky stop. A large column of red light from above pierced through the cloud. Strongly landed on the ground. A demon faction called out loud. Long behind Lord, the human side is confused. The smoke has not cleared between the two sides. The long side appeared with a strong. In my hand, 2 names. People have bruised you. What is the name of the school? The 2 men he carried out in front of them. IP Romantian. This guy's name is Long. The breath is too strong. IP Wanshan put his hand to stop. Don't provoke Long's forces here. I'm afraid I've reached the top of the mountain. I turned back to look for her, thinking. He's not from CA school. Is it possible for Long to climb the tree? But he's also capable of doing this. The little devils in the back are screaming. The air is long. The price is unique. Chief CA, get out here and die. Long laughed contemptuously. The school didn't even show up. I just want to wash you away. When men die, women become slaves. Suddenly, the moon did not appear on the sky. Kinky black-haired girl startled. It's everyone looking up at you. She is not a princess. The first child also secretly realized that Min is not billions. The moon does not stand in the air. His face was not cold, arrogant as a bright angel. Long look at you, Crave. Of course, the great beauty is waiting for me to beat the old school CA. Just follow me, just follow me. Moon Ming didn't say many words. That clings to the hand. A magic circle appears. She pressed into the seal the celestial sword wizard. A large sword sticking out of the seal. Towards Long College. He stood still as if waiting for the sword to fly towards him. He bared his teeth, laughing, I dare to fight with you. Strong enough I like. He said. He held his hand. He threw a blow at the sword, to break it to pieces. The bunny guy spoke in shock. This is the art. It's easy to get smashed. The brunette is so confused. See, you're not sure. Can you judge me? The princess is stronger. I'm afraid it's not Long's opponent either. This is a gap that is hard to fill. Long's hand. It's starting to suck in the dark air. The flow of his power, forming a big monster head, then attacked towards the Moon Ming. As in front of me, you have no victory. A terrible explosion broke out in the air. The smoke flew blind and saw nothing. A flower gradually appears after the smoke has cleared. Moon Ming did not have time to summon the curtain, protected by lotus flowers. She laughed a little. This is your strength. Where to get the will to fight with the school? CA, everyone looked at her in amazement. It's blocked. No tiger is the emperor's letter. He looked at her with suspicious anger. Not what Long said. This moon is also on the same level as SAO. Maybe, in such a short time, she's broken through. A flower is leaving the flower. Many other flowers are separating from the flower. The moon doesn't use those wings. Continuous attacks towards Long Dao. He didn't have time to prepare. It's using two strange blockers to make that powerful attack. A flower flashed across his face, cut into the flesh and splattered with blood. The flowers fall down. Long's legs are shining right now. And then there's a big explosion, and it goes off violently. The people there must feel so strongly. A successful questioner, Sao. Another guy continued. There is smoke, and I don't know why. The dust gradually dissipates. I was really angry and rushed. You have succeeded in making me angry. Moon Ming could not help but look surprised. He uses his fists with powerful energy. Attack on you. Agility in front of the face. The moon's face has no part. Worry, but still waiting for the attack. Suddenly, there was an explosion on the Long side. Nuit Min T consecutive attacks on Long. He angrily punched her seal and shouted, "If you don't know good or bad, don't blame me." The enemy is not in love. The seal is immediately broken. She was horrified by her body power. Long behind, hold big fist swung in front of Nuit Min. No, I cut off the Kai you saw. How do you still resist? Someone who is afraid is not okay. The young man behind continued. This defensive magic doesn't work. Under Long's fist. First, I took out a bracelet. You get startled when you see something. A space hole appears. Foot of the CA fixture from the side, directly in front of Long. You stomped your foot in his face. After that powerful kick, Long behind the couch. The demons in the back are also affected. But flung up Long behind lost momentum. Can't resist but fly out further and further. Master Long called out to his servant. He knocked down a big rock and made a big explosion. But the place, he flew over and made a long trail of marks on the ground. I said, let you wash your neck and come to me. And you really came. Should I praise you for listening? Are you kidding me, or should I say you're stupid? The people behind excitedly chanted, it's my late brother. My late brother is finally here. Nuit Min did not call the chief CA. You smile happily. You came to hold my hand. You don't know. Yu Ming was not confused, his face full of questions. She glanced at the people behind her. I want to do that in front of them. She coordinated her hand, he replied. I don't know why. Moon Ming did not continue to apologize. Let him worry then. On her head shows the number 8,600. Watch out for CA laughing. No, it's good, I'm sure. Others see it and laugh. Your brother really cares about them. It's a magical couple. That's right. That's right. The first child only knows how to laugh. IP Romantian laughed softly. One is the future owner, holding the steering wheel of Tianxian. One is the future female emperor of the peerless dynasty. It's a match. Long way down from above. You are the old school. Long stomped hard on the ground. On top is 4,500 points. You didn't expect to hit me. He glanced silently, smiling. See if I guess wrong. That's right, Kai Kai Long crouching model. At this time, the Dragon Clan shouted for help. Lord, save us feet. Long also tried to scream. He made a deal to watch out for CA. Now you let them out. I can see for you the whole body. The system gives out the Kai Kai. Long behind appears open mission. The system is in the process of calculating a task. Killed Long. Mission 2, collect college. CA school is so boring. I turned dark and smiled sinister. I'm not you or anything. The Long back doesn't understand. Try to select a task. Task notification system 1. Kill Long by 3,000 airlift points. 15 points of external fate reward calculated later. The CA school calmly poked fun. The haughty, useless brain. Waste that we also meet.